Hello and welcome to Bees to Billionaires, a podcast. The results are in, the ballots have been placed. Yeah, it's a podcast. Baby?
Too true.
Wow, and gee whiz, what kind of podcast could it be? According to my pre-written intro that I say every single episode, there's two attractive people. It's some kind of
one of them is a bee,
menu.
one of them is a billionaire.
Yeah, they eat meat every Thursday and rank everything that both does and doesn't exist in a single itemized list from best to worst, from bees to billionaires. Which one's best, which one's worst, I don't know. Wow, we'll find out. It also says here that I'm Joshua Joel.
Does it say that I'm Emilie?
No, it says I'm Joshua Joel, close quotation marks, open quotation marks, I'm Emilie. So I guess, yeah, okay. My name is Joshua Joel, close quotation marks, open quotation marks, I'm Emilie, close quotation marks, open quotation marks, and ... Welcome to the podcast. There's currently 46 items on the list. A lot of them are movies. We've got like a nice upper tier going now, because before the list was like a few good things, like a whole bunch of movies, then some bad things. But we've kind of started to get, and it evolved quite well last episode. It's literally the top 10. Well, not quite just the top 10. But yeah, we've got like this nice little, middle ground. There isn't like a sudden switch where it goes from our good friend Holly to the film Revenge of the Sith, specifically the extended edition fan-made recap. But yeah, so it's great. Last week we had not so special guest Sam on the show. Emilie, I'm going to call you out straight away. You haven't watched the episode back.
I have not. I've been catching up because I was too scared to listen to the podcast at first, but I finally mustered the courage and decided I need to listen to this because maybe I'm awful and I need to sort myself out. And it turns out I wasn't doing that great, but I feel like I'm gonna improve myself now. I don't know. I felt like I wasn't speaking enough, or I was speaking at the wrong times, or maybe I'm just insecure like that. But
to be fair, there is no issue with you like not talking as much as me. Like
you're very good at speaking. Like you're entertaining to listen to. So
I speak too much.
No.
All of my endeavours are made in order to get people to listen to me, because they don't otherwise. That's what the movie nights are for, really, and that's all that this is for, is to get people to listen to me. And yeah, and I really I'm very glad that you were interested in this kind of thing as well, because otherwise I would sound like a crazy person.
Well, we can both be crazy and show the whole world.
Yay!
But yeah, I feel like I can improve myself more now and stop speaking so quickly whenever I say stuff.
Yeah, I can't believe that you hate Sam and didn't listen to his special guest role in a hit podcast. Man,
no,
I bet you're the reason why he's ranked 14th out of 46.
I was saving it for a special moment to listen to.
Oh, yeah. Man, I haven't like put all the things from last week into like categories or given them the episode number on the actual list yet.
How could you?
That's very bad.
Disorganized host.
But
we should have you replaced. Let's have
get
Sam on.
again.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Oh, we love Sam. He's the 14th best thing.
That's pretty
so
high,
far.
quite frankly.
Yeah, he's better than Kung Fu Panda, which, whew, that
is a compliment.
That's big.
Yeah, that is huge.
Man.
Oh.
How's your week been? Quick, you have to talk and
okay.
Just
Monday.
I can't
What
think.
did I do on
I'm
Monday?
writing categories.
Monday, Monday was when stuff opened. So I went to a lovely beer garden, had a pizza. Then we went to another pub in the evening. Had a grand old time. Went home, slept. Tuesday. Today is Tuesday. Today, I woke up.
What do you mean today? Today's Thursday.
Is it?
We always meet on a Thursday. Don't ruin the magic, Emilie.
Oh, so I said Thursday, but because they start with the same letter, I got a bit confused.
Right. Yeah.
And so on this fine Thursday, I decided, you know what? It's been locked down for a long time. I managed to save a bit of money. I bought myself some essential clothes that are essential, and I wasn't really treating myself. I was just pretending to treat myself. I got new socks. I got new socks. That has been the highlight of my week.
Ooh. Man, I got something new today as well. And by today, I mean Tuesday, which isn't today. I bought a bicycle. I've had. That's the end of the anecdote. I was going to explain more, and I realised it's completely unnecessary for me to explain my bike-related trauma.
No, you can. You can explain your love for bikes, perhaps, instead.
Yes. I love bikes. There. Explained. Done. Yeah, I bought a road bike. It's very nice. I bought it for... I used to volunteer at a rehab, and I went there today, and I did a little bit of extra volunteering, because it would have been rude not to. But I wanted to buy a bike that I'd seen donated there, because they do cycling-based fundraisers, and so someone donated a bike under the knowledge that they used bikes, and the guy, one of the people there, it was a really nice old bike, a little old, but really, really good, really light. The frame's made out of aluminium, and then the front fork and the handlebars are made out of carbon fibre.
Very fancy.
Very fancy. And I was literally told, if I don't sell it for donation money, then it's just going to be used by any old resident who wants to go out on a cycle, and I can't let a random person use this because they'll break it. And so they sold it to me for very, very cheap. It was a huge bargain. I'm a very, very lucky boy today. And by today I mean Tuesday, which is
Thursday.
Or maybe today. Yeah. Yeah, I did what you did. I misspoke. This all happened on Thursday.
They have so many similar letters, it's normal to get confused.
I hate time.
I refuse to accept it.
We have to... Yeah. I had to get up early today. What? Blair. Gross. Icky. Get rid of it.
Ew, gross. Time has cuties.
I have to do... get your skill of the undying god of infinite time away from me.
Chronos? No, we disgrace him in this household.
Yeah, I've got to get up early again tomorrow, and so I really hate that. But I got a bike, and that's cool. It's a nice bike, and it's my first actual road bike. So, even though I've been trying to get big and fast, and I've been on Zwift riding, which is a virtual cycling program which connects to a bike, and I've been riding virtual road bikes, doing virtual races. This is my first actual road bike, and it's very nice. So you can get all nice and low and close-ish to horizontal with your body. It's very, very good. Bend over for the cycle god. As twere.
So horizontal as you turn around, or just horizontal?
Oh no, I just mean because you've got dropped handlebars, so you can grab lower.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So you're not like set up all the time.
Just
when you are
streamlined,
up.
right?
Yeah, exactly. So isn't that jolly good? Anything else, my good dear? Anything you'd particularly like to talk about on this fine podcast recording eve?
Oh, as you mentioned your passion for bikes, I was thinking of picking myself up a new guitar.
Ooh.
Yeah, maybe just a cheap one to play around with the electronics. Like, I want to learn how to change the pickups and stuff. And I think that'll be a fun little thing to work on.
That's cool. I don't know what a pickup is.
Little magnet thing you use when you pick the string. It does something and it connects to the amplifier. See, this is why I want to learn, because I don't know enough already.
Man. You want to get picked up by a hot guitar.
Yeah. I want my G string picked.
Oh, brilliant. Man, I don't know what to talk about. So what we can do is we can use the one constant in our chaotic, horrible lives, which is, of course, movie night.
Yeah.
What film did we watch?
We watched
Emily?
Akira.
Ooh, that's a movie. That's one of my favorite films, and I love it, which is why I forced everyone to watch it. Man,
it is a worthy movie. It is incredible.
Do you know about the history of this film and how it kind of screwed the whole industry?
I don't know.
The Eastern anime industry. So, Kira, it's a 1988 film. It's a Japanese animated film based off a manga. So, essentially, like a very simple terms, the before I talk about the actual film itself, the technically the film is amazing. Like it's really well made. It's at I can't quite remember the frame rate.
I know the animation is so smooth, it looks so good, and the art style, everything is really, really nice.
Yeah, it's yeah, so it was drawn. So this was, obviously pre-computer animation. It was drawn. I think even before like computer-aided animation. This was very basic. They drew stuff. They put it over a light, and it was like photographed essentially.
Yeah.
And it had a ridiculous frame rate for the time, which made it really, really expensive. So I believe I found... Okay, it was 24, which doesn't sound that much, but obviously that's 24 drawings per second. I think the standard for the time was 12. Obviously that's a massive increase in just production value and, of course, production costs. The
24 frames per second, did you say?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I've like some of the it shows when you see some of the particular environments, particularly like shots of the city, and there's like one underground shot when they're flying like the weird quadcopter in the underground military place. But it's like they really layer up the backgrounds, so they're drawing like several layers of drawing for some of the. I don't know anything about animation, but it was expensive, and they got some really nice perspective by like layering up shots and having to draw shit tons more essentially, and it really like kind of. It obviously didn't kill the industry, but so I've been told, and also, obviously, as with everything I ever say on this podcast, I'm an idiot, so always take it with a grain of salt, but, some films really struggled over the next decade, because this one film, it was like the pinnacle of what the medium could do, but it didn't make its budget back for a, ridiculously long time. And yeah, so like no one like financially no one could compete with its production value.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really good. the film itself is about. It's set in a like kind of dystopian Neo Tokyo. You can see not lots of really nice kind of neon lighting and stuff. It's really it's brilliant cyberpunk aesthetic.
Wait, yeah, it's set in 2019, isn't it?
It's set in the distant future of 2019. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the opening shot is Japan or Tokyo of 1988, just spontaneously exploding in something that's like you might guess to be like a nuclear explosion or something like that. Although you're never explicitly told. And then you kind of cut to like some biker gangs, and there's you get some nice little shots of like the inner workings of the government, and then there are some weird little green wrinkly children that show up, and then stuff goes down, and that's really all I can say about the film, to be honest.
Yeah, no spoilers.
It's one of those films where I feel like I can say very little about this film, except it's really beautiful. The soundtrack is phenomenal. There is a track in the film. It comes a few times, but it's, I think, in its like name and its first use, even though it's not really associated with these guys because they keep using it throughout the film, but it's somewhat associated with the Clowns, which are a rival motorcycle gang, because as our main protagonists are, they're all bikers. The film opens with a gloriously like kind of brutal fight between these just two gangs of youths. You see one guy fall off his motorbike, and then this like one of like the protagonists, who's like 15, flies past and with an iron pipe just like smashes the guy's head open. And you love to see it. You love to see it. Beautiful. And yeah, I don't really have much else to say. I watched this film about 4 or 5 times now. I've watched it a lot, and I really like it.
I mean, I really like it too. As I said before, when we were just chatting, it was my old best friend. It was her favourite movie, so we watched it, I think, a few times. And of course, we watched it at a movie night the other day, which I didn't get to see the ending because I was feeling a bit tired.
Ooh.
But no, it is.
Oh, the ending hits hard.
I think it is up there, definitely in the list.
This is the first time I've cried watching this film. Which is,
Do you need to have cried at it?
No. But it is the first time I have. I was just to state the fact. Yeah. It's the ending's very dramatic, and it's very it's oh no. But very, not to imply something like bad. It's not like a traumatic ending. It's yeah, just very dramatic, very enjoyable. Man, such a good film. And I feel like the entire podcast will literally be me just saying, such a good film. Well, I can't think of anything else to say, or I can't. Oh, I want to articulate this, but I don't know how. And also, it's kind of a spoiler, but it's a good film. Gee whiz! Man, what a good film. So I think we should just go and slap it on the list.
I was thinking,
yeah,
is it better than Currency?
That's a really hard metric.
So I think 6, 7, 8. I think that's a good place to put it.
Oh man, I was actually talking to. Yeah, me and Sam spoke during movie night, and we're talking about Swiss Army Man. I was saying that like this might actually be the thing that's going to go directly after Swiss Army Man. This is like the film that competes. Because man, is it a good film? And I feel like, man, we've already got like, I don't know, like almost power creep of a sort. Just looking at, I don't know, just looking at the movies, it feels like every single week, the film that I've just watched I really, really love, and so I want to put really high. Like I remember feeling like Kung Fu Panda was really great, and I wanted it to be like quite high up there, and now we're so far removed from that. This is going to be like 22 items away on a list of only 48. But
I feel like Kira
do
does
you agree
deserve
with-
to be very high up though, because it is iconic in its own way.
Yeah, it's really good. As you might have heard, it's a good film. I would love to put it directly after number 6, Swiss Army Man,
Good. Cool.
and that is before Currency. Does also make it better than Poltergeist, the perfect female woman. That's big accolade right there.
But it is deserving.
Hell yeah. Wonderful. Okay, well that's our one weekly conversation topic gun. Gun.
Gun? What do we think
So,
of guns?
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
hot political
I
subject.
think not.
It's look, guns don't kill people.
People kill people.
People kill guns.
Oh!
We're all impervious to bullets, and it's a miracle.
That's true. Gun. No, I'm not gonna say that. Never mind. It's just.
Brilliant. I've been playing lots of Stellaris recently.
Oh yes.
Stellaris
Yes.
is one of those games where it's so long. It's a bloody Paradox. Is the company that makes it. It's I've literally never finished a game of it. I have 150 hours of this game. It's you play individual like matches. I don't know what you'd call it, but it's like Civ. It's the same genre as Civilization. Sid Meier's Civilization. It's set in space. I really enjoy it. I'm currently playing. I was gonna say it's one of those games that I don't play. I play for like 30 hours a day for a week, and then I get it to like a long slow death or a long slow victory towards the end. And I'm like, well, this is just boring, and so I drop it. Or something bad happens, and I just can't be bothered to try and pull through because it's like such a big chance of death. And then I'll like drop it for like 5 months and then come back to it and then do the same thing again. And so that's what I'm doing. The cycle continues. I'm playing a hive mind, which is fun. So all of my people are part of the same conglomerate. We're tree people.
Oh, you agree?
They're plants, and they're all plugged into the great tree of life. They've done away with petty things like individualism. Therefore, there's no hate, there's no crime.
They live in a society.
There is only the tree.
Only photosynthesis.
I found Earth, which was fun. I found World War II era Earth.
Oh.
And so I could like put up an observation base and get lots of society and like biology research. But I've thought that's kind of boring. I didn't yet have the ability to like infiltrate them and replace their leaders, and I didn't yet have the technology to slowly warp them genetically into honourable plant people. So I did the only thing, because obviously you're not going to study them. That's boring. That's ridiculous. Instead, I was like, let's build them up into their own galactic civilization. which was actually kind of like a big waste of resource. So I did that. It took a bloody long time. Then at the end, I finally brought them up, and they sat there. They did nothing for about like 10 years of having like warp drive technology, as far as I could tell. Not only they took the solar system with them, so I built mining bases and stuff across all of the planets, and like a research station around the sun, and all this gorgeous stuff, and then it just automatically transferred over to them because it was tied to the solar system, and they got the solar system by default by having an empire like spawn there. And then they sat there and they did nothing. I didn't see a single science ship. I didn't see a single like construction ship going off to like claim to build star bases around other stars and like claiming them and building their empire. They did nothing. They were vassalized. They were like my little baby. So if they went to war, I'd have to protect them and stuff like that. And also they could research the stuff that I'd already researched faster. So great, hurrah for them. But eventually they sat there and did nothing for 10-12 years. So I finally, and you're not allowed to do it for like a few years anyway, but there's a button and you could just integrate your subject, your vassal, into your empire. And I was like, I will clearly use them and their planet way better than they are. So I clicked the button, and it turns out I thought that I'm a hive mind, right? So maybe I'd put like a special little seed into their ear, and they'd be like, "Ooh," and they'd become connected to the great tree or something.
Yeah, they would tune into the same frequency.
Or maybe they would just be like, "You gross, these people are able to have racism and crime. Imagine the existence of individualism on one of my planets, and it'd be gross, but you could put up with it." No, turns out that hive minds they don't deal with other people, so automatically they were all killed.
Oh,
but now I have Earth. So that's great. I actually lost my capital city, and I almost made Earth my capital city, but I made another one the capital city by mistake. So I now have I've moved next to Earth because my capital, because bloody some space pirates decided to like unionize and become. It's like a big event that can happen in the game called Hordes, where they just like move through the entire galaxy in like one big wave, and they're completely ridiculous. I'd been in like a cold war with this really powerful, like racist empire next to me who hated me, and they were like so much stronger than me in fleet power. Like at the moment we weren't at war, and our relationship was like teetering on war, and so I was like really trying to stay like a few points above the point at which they killed me. And then whilst trying to do this balancing act, like I suddenly watch all of their planets get wiped out by this onslaught, and it was like, oh no. And then they destroyed my entire military, and then they took my homeworld. They destroyed the great tree of life, but I had like other trees of life on my other planets because you get one per planet, so it's fine.
You had some saplings that you could
the
just
hive mind
elsewhere.
continues. And there's a galactic community you can do in Stellaris, and you get to vote on issues, which is quite fun. So you can think about, this makes it so that, this is the tax the rich policy, so people with economic power kind of get a little negative, but all the low-paid workers are happy. So every single person's population is happier, so if you've got a problem with crime, maybe people are going to be happier, they're going to hate you less, that's great. But also if you're wealthy, you're going to see like a loss in some of your production, something like that.
Yeah.
And then there's also it's kind of charming because maybe you want to vote for what your allies want, not because you want it, but because they like you more if you vote for the same things as them. Also really cute when you trade for resources, like if you're in debt and you want your buddy to give you some tasty minerals, you can now trade in favors, and then they can call them in and say, vote to I can think of something funny in time. To ban Bees to Billionaires, the awful podcast where Josh can't think of good jokes. And sorry, that's also I like that. You can trade in favors with the Klingons. What a fun game mechanic. But anyway, so one of the options that went into the galactic government, even though it's a very loose government between all of these empires that are slowly trying to outcompete with each other. So it's like Geneva Convention style stuff that oversees everyone, but it's not really it's not like it's like a real government. One of the issues that came up was should there be a galaxy-wide response against these pirates that have just wiped out 2 empires and are currently slowly stabbing me, Joshua Joel, in my plant face. And it was en route to take about 25 years to go through government. It was so slow.
Yeah, that is quite a while.
I was literally watching my planet burn. It was well, we've got 2 things for the Senate to deal with first. One of which is recycling. It's
gotta stop pollution.
Yeah, I mean, no one's eating meat on that planet anymore. No one's buying up plastic, dildos in plastic packaging.
Yeah, I mean, I'd hope plants aren't eating meat.
Yeah, that is true. That is a bit of a weird bit of lore that I've suddenly made up for my empire.
It's those piranha plant fellas. Or those big old chompers from Plants vs. Zombies. Oh, God, I missed that game. Anyway, carry on.
I never played much Plants vs. Zombies.
You should get the app. The app is free and it has the original game, so do that.
Ooh. Sure. Do. That's that's another funny. But yeah, that's really the end of my rant. It's eventually before the government, before the galactic community, as it's called, ever dealt with this thing, because they were warring, the pirates were warring factions that owned two systems, that then one guy came up and unified them all with his charming smile, and then they took over literally about half the galaxy. But then he died, and then they fall into small factions. And the game's treating them like players, which means that they obey things like closed borders.
Okay.
And they actually have reasons to go to war. They're just they've just turned into militaristic xenophobes, as opposed to an unstoppable game mechanic that kills you. So that's fine. I can deal with fanatic militarist xenophobes.
Yeah, as we all can. It's just a common occurrence in our daily lives, the majority of the time.
You just have to say no.
Yeah, put your hand out,
say
palm
no
straight,
to xenophobia,
and say no. Bad.
And then when the literal grass people offer you grass, you can say that. You can say yes to that one. You can. Is that if my entire empire is made out of plants, does smoking weed, would the hive mind feel the burning of one of its member of its population?
Would they be the same species of plant? Because maybe that would be the same as like just rolling a joint
well,
of your
they're
hair
like-
and smoking it.
Well, they're like slaves. The cannabis plant where we respect smonking up of that doobie,
Doobie.
a bonky bong. I don't know what the cool kids call weeds these days.
Yeah, me neither.
Spliff,
Jay, who knows?
a snivy, a Bulbasaur.
Blaziken.
They're second-rate citizens, because otherwise we'd have to literally, then you'd have to ban cannabis, and that would be bad. So, also Blaziken is a brilliant name for it. Congratulations, you won.
Thank you, appreciate it. I thought that just went past you completely.
I don't have anything else to say about. I just wanted to mention Stellaris, but I guess I could rank the game. I had nothing to say about my empire and me accidentally killing humanity. I just wanted to talk about it because why not? Or yeah, that's another Pokemon. I feel like I don't need to talk about Stellaris anymore. You don't get to know any of the game mechanics. Do you have any thoughts to review it from that very limited bit of knowledge?
Sounds good. I mean, it sounds like one of those
I've
games
given you?
like Sims that you can just play for a long time. So
Yeah, it just kind of go. There is an actual end date, and we'll see what happens then. I think the game will just everyone, no one what. Most people are still alive. There wasn't much warring, and this person has the most good boy points, so they win, and that's going to be very unsatisfying when that happens. But oh well.
yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay, so, man, I want to say, I want to say that this is better than the Phantom Menace, but worse than Kung Fu Panda 2. 3, even.
I'll trust your word.
I don't have much else to say about this game, and I don't want to talk about it forever, even though I love it and literally be playing it for most waking hours the last few days.
No, that sounds good then. That sounds like a good rank.
Blammo, 28th out of 50. We've now hit the half-century mark. How do you feel?
This is cause for a celebration. What are we doing?
Man, we should record the latter half of this podcast.
Oh, that's such a good idea. Good. Okay.
Oh,
No song or
yeah.
anything. It's some royalty-free celebration music.
Ooh. Okay. There you go. It's playing.
Oh, this is my
But
favourite
now
song.
I have to actually find that. It's fine. It can be bad though. I guess it doesn't need to be.
It can be silence. Sometimes silence is relaxing.
It's just gonna be crickets.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's go there. Should we? Ooh.
Wonderful.
Okay, so if we have a bee and a cricket, who's gonna win?
How big even are crickets?
I think they're quite varied. From what Animal Crossing has taught me, they're different sized crickets.
Man, I just opened up Google Images and I'm not having a good time right now.
Crickets. Oh, I'm not sure if I should Google crickets now.
They're just cringe grasshoppers.
Oh, they're kind of stubby. I thought they were longer.
No, the ones that are green and they literally just look like crickets. I'm fine with those ones. Those are literally what I think of as grasshoppers. Are grasshoppers just crickets?
I don't know. Let me see.
I know that they look very similar. Okay, I think I've decided as a biologist that grasshoppers and crickets are the same thing. And if they are the same thing, then I can definitely say that I have duelled and fought off a cricket with a sword before.
You're going to have to elaborate on how that happened. And it would appear that
So-
grasshoppers are the Chad crickets. They are the alphas.
Okay. Is that any elaboration on that, or is that just?
Just the pictures. The grasshopper's always bigger.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, so there was one like on my pillow. Like I wanted to go to sleep, and I walked into my room, and there was just like a cricket like on my pillow, and you can't do anything in that situation. I think it's because they also don't like walk or anything. You know, like most bug, like a spider, you can like cup it or something, or like get to go onto some paper. But these things don't walk until they leap hundreds of meters in a single bound. Which it's, you know, I feel like it's a lot of bugs where you're like being scared of them's a bit lame, but like actually wanting to do anything with a cricket with the knowledge that like it's going to go into hyperspace at any second, I think I'm allowed to be a bit wimpy in that situation, just because like I have no idea. They're just going to.
Yeah, it's like a Jack in the Box. You just keep
Who knows what
it
they'll
keeps
do.
going until it does something. Very suddenly.
And so I got out a sword and I kind of like whacked the ground near it a couple of times, and like I got to jump a few times, but it didn't do it. It was still just like hanging. So I started like, it seemed to like, I don't know if it was getting tired or what, but it seemed to start getting less responsive to the sword, and so I like poked it a few times, and it just sat there, not responding. And then I stuck it again, and he literally like, I think bit down on the sword. I thought he was like trying to fight it.
Okay.
And he was like, yeah, he like clung onto it and was like gripping it, and I was like, okay, this works for me. So I opened the window, and I thrust the beast out. I shoved my sword out the window and like swung it about until the grasshopper flew off.
They can fly?
No, I think he just jumped off.
Oh, okay. There's no reason for them to be able to
flew
leap
off
and
in
fly.
the loose sense of the phrase. Yeah. You could choose only one. No being can be that powerful.
It's too much strength for anyone to handle.
Imagine a flying frog. God can't let that thing to exist because he knows that everyone would prefer it over him.
He'll be the master of both the water, the land, and the skies.
Wow.
Well,
From the earth, the land, the sea, and sky,
don't they
they
say that
can
you can
never
put
win, but they sure can
salamanders in
try.
fire?
Oh. I can't remember. That's Advanced Battle, the Pokemon theme tune. You're welcome.
Oh, I don't know.
It's from Generation 3.
If salamanders had wings, they would be the masters of all four elements. Just throwing it out there.
Would they?
Yeah, because they're fireproof, aren't they? Is that a thing?
I know that they're always associated with fire in like myths.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't know why.
I mean, I don't see why it would be true, but I want to not believe it. So I'm going to say that.
Orange fire salamanders. Yeah, I mean, I believe it. They were in, they lived in the desert world in Wizard 101. So, yeah, I'm sure they've got some kind of fire trickery. And obviously lizards are, obviously they after dinosaurs you get proto-dragons, and then proto-dragons split into modern-day lizards as well as dragons, obviously. So they are in the evolutionary chain. It makes sense.
I think they're just funky little fellas.
Oh, they are quite handsome.
But
they're quite charming.
Speaking of which, though, would they be quite handsomer than a crab, which is ranked third on the list?
I don't think so. I would love to rank crickets, British crickets, which might be grasshoppers. I'd love to rank salamanders, Do I mean specifically fire salamanders? Although I searched fire salamanders and I'm getting, yeah, I think fire salamanders is the name of an actual thing. But maybe I'm just stupid. No, okay. I think we'll go with fire salamander.
Yeah.
I'd also like to review the wooden sword I bought at a Renaissance fair as a kid that I used to slay
Helpless
a
insects.
grasshopper. It's still alive. Well, no, it isn't still alive. They haven't lived that long. I assume it survived our encounter.
We can only hope.
That's how you know I'm a real knight.
Okay, out of these three things though, I'm just going to propose my ranking of the three. I think top is going to go fire salamander, then
Yes.
grasshopper, English cricket, I believe.
British cricket.
The green one, and then cricket. So I don't know how we're going to slot that into the list, but that's my proposition.
So I wasn't paying attention. Is that cricket and then the sword?
Oh, of course, the sword. We need to rank the sword as well.
Yes.
Let's not rank my memory. I think the sword should be above the cricket, below the grasshopper.
Wait, we're doing crickets and grasshoppers as two different things.
Should we? Or should we
Why?
not?
They're the same thing.
Okay, fine then.
There's like some grasshopper enthusiast who's going to listen to this, and they're going to cry.
Yeah. We would have
My
ruined
life's
his day.
work!
And his life, yeah. What if a cricket listens to this?
Well then, maybe he has a very charming grasshopper neighbour, and he's going to be very chuffed, and they're also in love.
And they kiss, and they go, mwah.
The difference between crickets and baseball. Thank you, that's what I wanted.
Oh, cricket's a sport as
Okay,
well.
here we go.
I forget about that.
The difference between grasshoppers and crickets. This is from ThoughtCo. ThoughtCo.com. You'd think it'd be Thought.co. Isn't .co an extension? It's like company.
I would have no idea.
It's like Thought. Either way, Co stands for company. So it's, or at least I believe it does. So it's Thought Company. The company extension. It seems just a little bit lazy. I mean, Thought.com would obviously have been taken, but it's just sad. ThoughtCo.com. Okay. Grasshoppers, crickets, cathidids, and locusts all belong to the order Orthoptera. Members of this group share a common ancestor. While all insects look similar, while all these insects look similar to the untrained eye, each has unique characteristics. Orthopterans also includes cockroaches, and mantids, and walking sticks.
Oh, those are cool fellas. And mantises.
I've never heard of a walking stick.
The stick bugs,
I've
right?
searched walking stick, and I found exactly what you'd expect. Walking sticks, insect. I searched
it's a
incest.
stick bug.
I got
like
Tutu
to believe
Kamu.
it.
I searched walking sticks incest, and I got Tutu Carmoon alongside his walking stick. Because obviously he was a product of incest. If you didn't know,
I believe his cousins
if
were
he wasn't,
his cousins. His parents were brother and sister, right?
Yes, and his child was also his mother's child.
Interesting.
That's just from my memory. Who knows? But I believe that is the facts. Either way, yeah, there was a lot of messed up. That's why he had a walking stick. That's why he was kind of messed up. It's because he was a little bitch. Someone had put the toast on because he was in some bread.
He was lacking in chromosomes. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of a pun. I apologise.
So there's a lot of interesting facts about grasshoppers and crickets here and the differences between them, but like I can't be bothered to tell them. So should we just choose one of them and do one of them? I think looking at like some of the images I've seen, I think the thing I thought was a cricket, but we can go either because they are the same thing.
Just say jumpy bug.
Jumpy bugs. Okay, so salamander, jumpy bug is clearly the ranking of those two. Where does my cool sword that I thought a cricket with go in that?
Well, see, you may have won the fight, but I don't think the sword was what made you win the fight.
It was just a long stick in effect.
Yeah, so it could have been...
But even so, if I defeated it with a long stick, it would have still been a long stick of defeating crickets.
Exactly. So unless you have any other... If you have any other stories about how you defeated things...
My sword of cricket slaying isn't that good. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I need to hear more background on this sword. I need to hear if it's defeated anything else.
I bought it for £8. It struck down my wallet. It hasn't... Oh, I once hit it with a light by accident.
Did the light break?
No.
Oh. I think for that it's going to go underneath the cricket, I'm afraid. I hate to have to say this, but I think that's where it belongs.
Oh, he's not going to believe it.
Tell him I apologise, but it has to be done that way.
It's just business.
It's nothing personal. Okay. It's not him, it's me.
Salamanders. So, salamanders obviously aren't as good as bees or crabs.
But they're still pretty damn good.
Yeah, I don't know if it's weird because we do kind of have this echelon of we've got all these films and all this great stuff and ourselves, and then we've got these animals, and obviously these animals deserve to be up there because bees are like, I'm pretty sure they turn pollen into oxygen or something like that. Like, it's very clear that we die without them. I think that's the general consensus. Did they make gravity?
Yeah, they did.
Or maybe that was spiders. They spun gravity up. Ooh, like a dream.
String theory, that's based on spiders.
Man. Crazy. They're little scientists. I wish I was as smart as a string theory spooder. Okay, so, but my point is, do they deserve to be up there alongside the bees and the crabs?
Oh, I think they do. Maybe not bees and crabs. Maybe, how about just below Holly Maddox?
Okay, so we're saying that fire salamanders are better than Swiss Army Men. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm fine with that. I was like, a little part of me at first was like, do we want to say that they're better than all these films and also better than Poltergeist from hit game Monster Prom? But you know what? I am...
Women are temporary. Salamanders are forever.
Okay. Poltergeist, literally, she's not temporary because she's a ghost. So you got proved wrong, didn't you, you idiot?
Okay, the salamander ghost.
Shit.
I've got you beat.
To be fair, we're ranking fire salamanders and not, in fact, the ghost of a fire salamander. Okay, so crickets. Or jumpy bugs in general.
Jumpy bugs. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of...
I am not a fan. Does this mean they're objectively bad and should be ranked low? Are their lives worth less than these other animals?
No, they're not objectively bad. I think they should remain about 20 feet away from me at all times.
They're neutral. Do we want to say, okay, we like Sam. He was in the last episode. He is currently the 16th best thing in existence. do we want to say that they're a little bit worse than Sam?
Yeah, that's a good... I like that.
I know
That's a good
exactly
decision.
following Sam is Damien LeVay, and exactly following Damien is the game Monster Prom. And given we're in the region, do we want to maybe slide it, but at least put no Monster Prom?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Eventually that funny
Sorry,
place will be from us, and that would be the right place for it to be in.
Gorgeous. So Jumpy Bug are number 19, making them the 19th best thing on the list. Out of 51, Fire Salamanders, if it wasn't obvious, are 6th. Or if it wasn't made clear, sorry.
They're 6.
Cool. Where are we putting my wooden sword?
I want to say it has to be quite close to the wooden salamander. What am I saying? It has to be quite close to the jumpy bugs to make sure it doesn't try and move.
Right, you're saying, do they have to have an innate property? They're going to jump up the list at some point.
So obviously with this list, what we're going to do is we're going to get one of
on this
list
this is like
and have them
how
in a
the
museum.
Egyptians always the Egyptians always drew things sideways. They didn't draw people facing straight on because they thought they'd get too powerful. Is this going to be the problem with the list? We're going to reach a point where their stand power is gonna alter their place on the list and make them more favourable.
Exactly. So they have to be contained.
I mean, what is, God without the devil? I mean, it makes sense that something this strong will one day attract great evils.
So the sword will seal away the jumpy bugs in their rightful place at 19. Which will be 20,
okay, so
because the sword will then be 19.
Perfectly honest, I don't think that my sword is better than the current number 20, which is Princess Mononoke. And actually, looking at most things on the list, I don't think my sword's better than them. I do want to say that my sword is in fact worse than a single bee. And I've realised that this single bee, his name is currently Florence. The gender is currently male. It changes all the time. But Florence here, I don't think that the entire species of crickets and grasshoppers are better than him. To be very honest.
Okay, agreed.
Florence is a very well-meaning young man. However, it's already on the list, and the list is objective. So to move it would be to imply that it's currently wrong, which is impossible. I will, however, say that my sword, it's going to be watching for a distance, but I'm going to say that it is exactly one step worse than Florence the singular bee. Are we okay with that?
We are okay with that.
Fantastic. That makes the sword of cricket slaying. I'm not calling it jumpy bug slaying. That would be preposterous. That makes it 40th out of 53. Fantastic. Be funny whilst I'm typing.
It would appear that you have not.
What?
Maybe.
Oh
there
no,
you
I was.
go.
Yeah, I was typing at the other time. It doesn't pop up until I finished writing the field.
See, I was hoping to see it letter by letter.
I can go back and I can edit it
unachievable.
one letter at a time just for you.
You know what? That's quite alright. Maybe next
If
time.
you really want.
The next thing we rank.
We could do it. We could do it after when the microphones aren't listening. It can be a nice
More
saucy moment between just the two of us.
Yeah, let's do that instead.
Ooh, gorgeous. Well, I feel sort of out of things to talk about. So maybe you've got any closing remarks?
All I will say is thank you.
Well, thank you.
Yep.
You haven't listened to the last episode, so you don't know our new outro.
Oh, we have an out. Okay.
Which,
Enlighten.
well, it's not. We never said that it was the official outro, but I think after last episode, I think it is. And I think I want to say it every single episode for the rest of the podcast.
Yeah, well, this will be a surprise, so feel free to go ahead.
Okay. Buzz, 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 I've been Joshua Joel.
Oh, is this where I go,
water.
I've been Emily?
Yeah. And we'll see you later, honey. Mwah.
Mwah. That's brilliant, I love that.
Gorgeous.